What's good with you guys? It's your boy Devo, and we're going to be checking out another WrestleMania video. Today we got what really went wrong with WWE WrestleMania 41. WrestleMania is in 2 days. 2 days at the time I'm recording this video. And it seems like WWE needs to get themselves a PR guy or something, because, like, bro, all their headlines have been is about Trump and AEW. And with WrestleMania being 2 days out, you know what I'm saying, why are we not talking about that? Why are we talking about, you know what I'm saying, Donald Trump? Why are we talking about AEW? The biggest show of the year is in 2 days. But we're talking about politics and the other company. So these guys, it's time for people to lock in, bro. And let's just get into the video.
The build to WrestleMania 40 in 2024 was an overwhelming success and triumph. Following a successful pivot away from Roman Reigns versus The Rock, WWE advertised two blockbuster main events, and their respective bills had fans buzzing each and every week. This was predominantly down to their unpredictable nature, as we lived in a timeline where the final boss was showing up with his new villainous character without even being advertised, and every segment managed to hit the mark. The Rock would even cut random social media promos in the middle of the night, and these didn't just elevate the build to WrestleMania 40, it also elevated everyone involved in the storyline, including Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. Elsewhere, stories including Sami Zayn, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk were really strong, and WrestleMania 40 had all the hype in the world. Upon comparing the build to WrestleMania 40 to the build to WrestleMania 41 in 2025, something has clearly gone wrong.
It's night and day.
Just days away from the biggest show of the calendar year, and the buzz is just missing. Fans are questioning why the build to the show has been so timid, and fans are even questioning if WWE have lost their focus and drive ahead of WrestleMania. The underdeveloped undercard. Now, while certain matches, notably Jade Cargill versus Naomi, have truly exceeded expectations, there were so many matches on the WrestleMania 41 undercard that have failed to justify their existence. It's almost as if Triple H has realized that certain names needed to be on the card, so he panicked and just ordered the laziest match to book. The game spent months building up the SmackDown tag division, only to decide to leave the titles off WrestleMania.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. I gotta pause it here. I have to pause it here. The New Day and the War Raiders, I'm gonna be real honest, that doesn't deserve. This is no disrespect to Eric Ivar, Kofi, or Woods, but I just feel like that match does not deserve to be on the card. That was something that was teased like 2 weeks ago, and then they just kind of booked it for Mania. Whereas with the, you know what I'm saying, on the SmackDown side of things, you have like 6 teams. You have like 6 teams that have been chomping at the bit, hungry, and building up feuds and matches since probably like January, I would say. And they are not on the card. Like, you have Street Profits, who currently have the titles. You got Humberto and Garza. You got Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Pretty Deadly. Like, you've been building these teams up for months, only for the titles to not be defended on Mania. Like, and I just don't get that, because, you know what I'm saying, the World Tag Team titles are going to be defended. And like I said, that build has been something that was teased 2 weeks ago, and then they finally just put it together. Whereas we've been building these titles and building feuds with those titles for like what, 3-4 months. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, there's way better tag teams on SmackDown, at least that have been built up. Whereas with Raw, on the Raw side, you would just have American Made, War Raiders, New Day, and I guess you could throw in the LWO there too, if you wanted to. But they haven't really been getting built up as like a team. It's kind of just been, solo, like Mysterio and Dragon Lee, but they're not like really a team. They're the LWO is a faction. So I just don't get it, man. You could easily throw in a multi-man ladder match, kind of like you did last year, and just have Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Pretty Deadly versus DIY versus Angel and Garza. And even if you want to throw in the Mellow Dome Miz team, you could do that too. So I just don't get it.
instead booking the War Raiders versus the New Day for the Raw Tag Team titles. Nobody was pushing to see this match on the WrestleMania card, and it made fans angry, as it was completely pointless investing in the extended tag title story over on SmackDown if the game was never going to pay the story off at WrestleMania. Additionally, both new women's mid-card titles aren't even on the show. Chelsea Green is without a match in any capacity, whilst Lyra Valkyria is competing for the tag titles. This is a terrible look for the two new titles, and it was even reported that it was pitched that Green would be the host of WrestleMania 41, but that was shot down. This is possibly a sign that WWE just has too many titles, and the WWE creative team just doesn't have the capacity to make sure every title is showcased at WrestleMania.
I think that the mid-card women titles were definitely needed, because when you look at the women's roster, it is stacked. So I think that they were needed, but they just got to get them on the show. Like Chelsea Green, you could easily get her on the show. She could go up against, I don't know, you can run her and Michin back. You can run Michin versus Chelsea versus somebody else. You could even throw Nia Jax in there if you wanted to. She don't have a match either. And with Lyra, like I said in my predictions video, you could easily throw in, you could have had Roxanne Perez versus Bayley versus Lyra. And you could have done something there, but instead, Roxanne Perez is on the pre-show for Stand and Deliver, and so just don't get it. I don't think that they have too many titles. I just think that they don't know what the hell to do with them. Like they have the roster there to, you know what I'm saying, showcase the titles. They just don't know what the hell to do.
WrestleMania, World Title Mania. Now, earlier this year, Triple H claimed that the women main eventing PLEs such as WrestleMania isn't out of the question, and this was a direct quote from the head of WWE Creative. "It's always possible. To me, it's always possible. As we build this, to me, nothing is locked into any spot. As we build this, what resonates the most will become the main events. Nothing is locked in. I believe for talent, that is the best way to do it. Let everybody fight over the spot. Let everybody work their ass off, and everybody try to do what we're trying to do, which is do things outside the box and do things people haven't seen. Let them get out there and challenge themselves so that every moment they have on TV." Now, this quote led to a lot of buzz online, as it was a genuine belief that the planned Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair match could main event the show. Unfortunately, WWE heavily botched the build. They practically delivered the same segment 4 weeks in a row. Whilst Triple H says everyone needs to fight for the spot, what were the women supposed to do? Insist that the creative direction was changed? Now, the men's triple threat was randomly awarded the Night 1 main event slot, but it's never been addressed why the match is in the prestigious slot. Triple H truly opened the floodgates with this comment. He was clearly set on the men's triple threat headlining Night 1, and his comment was just to appease the audience and make it seem like the women had a genuine shot. It was disingenuous, and it'll be interesting to see if the game gets any feedback on these comments on the post-Mania press conference.
I think with that, it was just more so just getting Punk his WrestleMania main event. You know, because like I said, it was one of the reasons why he left, and it was one of the reasons why he came back, was to get that opportunity. So I think it's more so just getting that out the way, because I mean, now that he's going to be able to main event, you know, you can kind of just get that out the way, and then, you know, from here on out, WrestleMania main events can just go to the people that deserve them. Not saying that Punk does not, he obviously does, but you know, it's just tough, because it's like Bianca, Rhea, and Io, they also kind of do deserve it, but it's just that their build was fumbled. Whereas Rollins, Punk, and Reigns, their build is damn near carrying, if you will. It's probably gonna be the best match at Mania, to be honest. Obviously, there's some other matches in there that could take it. Obviously, Rhea, Bianca, Io can as well, but it's just build wise, it's probably the most anticipated. So yeah.
Now, in relation to the world title on the men's side, Gunther will defend against Jey Uso. After the major backlash to Jey's Royal Rumble win, WWE decided to stay firm with their creative, and no pivot was made to the matchup. Now, whilst the first few weeks of the build were lifeless and dull, since WWE inserted Jimmy Uso into the feud, the three men have put together perhaps the most consistent build out of any match on the WrestleMania card. The story has emotion, it's easy to follow, and each respective character has a clear and logical motivation. If only WWE could have applied this simple formula to the rest of the WrestleMania card, everything would be great. The triple threat. The confirmed main event for night 1 is a triple threat showdown. CM Punk will collide with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and on paper, this sounds incredible, yet the build has been confusing and the match feels like 3 respective singles matches just merged into one, designed to appease all parties. The main story of the match is that Punk eliminated Reigns from the 2025 Rumble, and now due to Survivor Series War Games, Paul Heyman owes Punk a favor, which turns out to be in managing Punk on the grand stage. As for Rollins, his motivation is ending both men. Rollins states that the winner of the match will determine the future of the industry, yet with no titles on the line and no stipulation attached to the match, this is just a silly marketing term to sell the match and fans can see right through it. But don't get us wrong, the story itself has some strong ideas, but each of the respective stories is better suited to a singles match. The Reigns and Rollins rivalry is well documented, and this needs to end in a one-on-one collision. The Reigns and Punk rivalry is just getting started, and due to Rollins' involvement, WWE have been unable to explore the genuine issues between the two men. It's messy, and the segments have come across as forced and off-balanced. But one of the key criticisms directed towards the feud is how much time WWE have wasted. WWE have an extended build to WrestleMania each year, yet for this main event match, they spent weeks having one or two of the names involved absent from the show. This made little sense and completely killed off any positive momentum. WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, and the biggest stars need to be there each and every week to truly sell that WrestleMania season is must-see television. The names involved treating the show like a standard PLE heavily impacts the legitimacy and credibility of WrestleMania as a brand and concept, and it's definitely something WWE needs to address in subsequent years. Rhodes vs Cena. The main event of Night 2 is said to be Cody Rhodes vs John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. The match certainly screams main event, and the announcement of the match did indeed lead to a surge of interest in the show, as ticket sales gradually increased. WWE took the build to the match to the very next level with an unexpected Cena heel turn, and whilst unexpected, a lot of the elements of Cena's heel turn have been called out by fans. Cena explained in 2 promos at the start of the build that he was breaking up with the audience. His motivation seemed less focused on Rhodes and the WWE title and more on the disgruntled fans of yesteryear. Whilst this could have worked extremely well a decade prior, it's been a long time since Cena was actually booed. In fact, Cena has been practically cheered and celebrated by all demographics for the best part of a decade, so the motivation just feels under debate. But when Cena embarked on his heel turn, he would sell his soul to The Rock, and fans were eagerly anticipating The Rock showing up to address this, yet as things stand, the final boss hasn't made a single TV appearance in the WrestleMania build. The relationship between Cena and The Rock has only been alluded to one single time on television, and it was quickly moved on from. Why were WWE outright refusing to address what the extent of the relationship between the two men is? What does selling your soul actually mean? How?
Yeah, they have failed to have Cena explain really why he did what he did. You know, it's kind of they're literally just making it Cena versus the WWE universe right now. And it's just weird. It's weird because like they didn't explain exactly why he did it and what the extent of the whole soul selling thing was.
How is Cena benefiting from The Rock's help? Makes zero sense, and this entire heel turn could have been easily done without The Rock's involvement at all. It feels like for the majority of the build to WrestleMania, fans have just been eagerly anticipating The Rock randomly showing up on TV, but it's quickly dawned on the audience that we're not in 2024 anymore and The Rock clearly isn't available. Why would WWE deliver arguably one of the biggest angles of all time only for the key players to just disappear? Fans are theorizing that The Rock will be at WrestleMania 41. Whilst this is likely, it's not like the final boss is going to cut a 20-minute promo explaining the true lore between him and Cena. The same goes for Travis Scott, as he was involved in the Cena turn, yet he's barely been mentioned. However, many would argue that he didn't need to be there in the first place. WWE wanted Scott on the angle to create headlines, yet it makes the WWE champion, that being the American Nightmare, look incredibly weak for not seeking revenge in any capacity. That is apart from an off-the-cuff comment he made about Travis Scott getting a receipt, which wasn't even on WWE television. But was the tour a mistake? Traditionally, WWE are able to sell a plethora of tickets for Raw and SmackDown during the road to WrestleMania. This is even the case when the product isn't in the best place quality-wise, as WrestleMania season is a time of year where even the most casual of fans want to see WWE. but their call to have the majority of 2025's WrestleMania season in Europe was very bold. Whilst the crowd were phenomenal and brought life to some disappointing shows, the time difference for a lot of the fans in the USA may be a factor in them feeling disconnected to the build itself. The European television tour could have been easily done in the summer or even on the road to Survivor Series, and the timing just feels unusual to say the very least. But the show can still deliver. Ultimately, the show can still deliver a classic WrestleMania event. However, this doesn't take away from what has been an uninspiring and lifeless build. They went all out for WrestleMania 40 each week on television, yet the build to WrestleMania 41 has been at a SummerSlam level at best. There's an argument to be made that if the actual show delivers, then the build will be forgotten. Whilst this is somewhat true, as in past decade, WrestleMania 31 had a truly horrible build, yet the show was legendary and nobody ever talks about the build. The issue in 2025 is that WWE relies so heavily on their television product to sell and tell stories. They're on the biggest platform in the world, and the stories and shows have to matter. There's definitely been a case of entitlement from WWE during the build. They know that they get sellouts left, right and center, and with them charging a fortune for regular television tickets, as far as they're concerned, nothing is wrong. However, the weak ticket sales for WrestleMania 41 should have acted as an instant wake-up call, and it's highly likely that both nights will be unable to sell out this year, and this is all down to WWE. But what do you guys think? Are fans just gonna forget the build after WrestleMania 41? Can WWE truly deliver a great WrestleMania with this build? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
And obviously I will put the link to the video, the original video, in the description if you guys want to just check it out yourself. But yeah, I want to know y'all's thoughts, man. Cause I mean, obviously the show can deliver like WrestleMania said, but people are gonna compare the build obviously from 40 to 41, but 40 is just a generational WrestleMania build. Like, we literally had part-timers showing up on weekly TV, Raw, SmackDown. Like, we had them showing up every week. We literally had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on weekly television, and he even had a damn match at Mania. So I think that like it's really hard to compare because like I said, it's a generational build. Like you know what I'm saying, 10 years, 15 years down the line, there still probably won't be a Mania build that will compare to that one. So the comparisons, I mean, I understand them because it's like how do you go from here to here? But at the same time, it's like comparing LeBron James and it's like comparing like LeBron James and Pascal Siakam. It's kind of like that. Because like you have, you know what I'm saying, generational, and then you have, damn, you know what, never mind. you got generation, you kind of got like a kind of mid build. And that's just what it is. WrestleMania 41's build has been very mid. The go home show for Raw was pretty damn mid. Outside of the ending segment with Rollins, Punk, and Reigns, but like the matches were pretty good. But it's just like, you know what I mean? Kind of just like everybody coming out saying the same thing, doing the same thing, and that's just what it is. But you know, I think that Mania 41 will still deliver. I think there's still some good matchups on the card, and I think that a lot of those matches will come through and carry. Especially the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way match. That match may damn near be match of the night for both nights. But yeah, just let me know y'all's thoughts. How do y'all feel about the Mania 41 build? How y'all feel about Mania 41 in general? And I will be streaming, you know, Stand and Deliver, and night 1 and night 2 on here and Twitch. So feel free to come through. And that's really all I got for you guys. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscriptions. And I'll see you guys next time.